Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I'm Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Today, we're checking out a brand new VR esports title that you could jump into for free. And honestly, I did not expect to enjoy this game as much as I did. But on that note, I will say that this video has been sponsored by the developer. They reached out, asked me to play this game and show it off to my community. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to keep my overall opinion limited and just show off some gameplay and talk about how it works. Remember though, this is a free title, so there's nothing to lose here, and I definitely recommend you at least jump in, give it a try, and find out if it's right for you. So let's prepare to blast off to a world where gravity has been overcome and become the next VR esports champion in Gravity League. Now before I explain what this game is all about, I just wanted to mention two things that immediately impressed me. Number one, this is not just some throwaway free-to-play game that made some sort of sports title and expected the community to grow. No, they are actively engaging the community, and they're also giving you plenty of reasons to jump back in. There's a pretty massive progression system, but lots of cosmetic unlockables, and also unlockables that change the overall gameplay. Honestly, I was impressed by how robust this system is. And the second thing that impressed me was the fact that I never waited to get into a multiplayer game. It didn't matter if I jumped into ranked or unranked mode, I always found someone right away. And this is pre-release while the game is still on App Lab. It's not officially coming to the Quest store until August 1st, which will definitely help with visibility, but it's already doing great, so like I said, I'm impressed here. But let's move into how the game plays and what it's all about. The easiest way to describe this is like jumping into a three-dimensional game of knock hockey. Now replace the puck with the ball, and the paddles with gloves that all have their own unique abilities. Now I will get into all of the different unlockables and power-ups later on in this video, but that is the basic gameplay in a nutshell. It's three-dimensional knock hockey where you're physically on the game board. You can, instead of just bouncing it off left and right, you can now also bounce it off the floor and the ceiling. It's pretty damn cool and it's a lot of fun to play. You know, addictive gameplay, got the heart rate up, not too much, you're not moving around crazy. I did eventually break a sweat, but it's not one of those overly intense games. You can play it for an extended period of time. And similar to playing a game of knock hockey, it's always fun and competitive. But even if it is three-dimensional knock hockey in virtual reality, how long could you honestly play that before you get bored? Well, this is where all the other elements kick in nicely. If you're not uber competitive and trying to run the leaderboard, there's not only tons of cosmetic unlockables available, but also power-ups and new gloves that change the overall gameplay. Jumping back to the different gloves I said I'd explain later on, well, basically, instead of using paddles, you have gloves. And they come in four different fashions. One is your basic square, and it's kind of like the jack of all trades. It's a pretty good size, so it's easy to block. It hits back at a decent speed, doesn't have much spin. It's like, you know, your basic go-to. There's one that's more of a shield. Got the largest surface area, easiest to block, but it's not that good to hit the ball back. Now, my personal favorite is the bullet. It's really good for just smacking the ball, getting some serious speed, and maybe putting a little curve on it. And finally, there's like a mini baseball bat, which can definitely give you some serious power, but it's amongst the hardest to control. Now, you could also level up these gloves over time, increasing aspects like their hitting power and ability to curve the ball. Now, if you're worried they're going to make a pay-to-win system with these unlockables, well, don't worry about it. The progression system is made in a manner that you can't buy your way to the top. You're going to have to actually play and unlock things to move forward. You can't just drop some money, get the best gear, and get an immediate advantage over everyone else. So that was another solid thing I was really happy to see. Now, besides cosmetic unlockables, they're also adding 2 paid DLCs, which include entirely new gameplay modes. There's a solo campaign DLC for $9.99, which has you facing off against unique AI characters, and as you defeat them, you'll be permanently unlocking their arenas. The other DLC is called Gravity Party and is also $9.99. This allows you to create custom matches with your friend, plus the option to play in a 2v2 mode. Now, if it turns out you're really enjoying the game and you don't mind dropping some cash, you can get both DLCs for $14.99, which honestly is a pretty good deal. They also run happy hour. This is one to encourage people to get on at a certain time, and also gives you the ability to get cosmetics or other things like the DLC at a discounted price. So basically, it's an incentive to be on at a certain time, and honestly, it's working out. It looks like their community is popping off. And speaking of community, they also run special community events where if you like go up against a certain AI and you're able to beat them, you'll unlock a certain skin or helmet, whatever the case may be, whatever promotion they're running at the time. So, like I said, they're definitely encouraging their community. They're making this like a fun esports game. It doesn't matter if you're super competitive or if you're very casual, it's fun for everybody. They also have a mixed reality mode, which in my instance didn't really add much. If you like to be aware of your surroundings and see what's going on, sure, you can enable mixed reality and be able to see off to your right and off to your left in the rest of your house so you know what's going on. But the way my room was facing for filming this, it kind of just was awkward, didn't add anything, but I always like to see the option. Now that right there was a basic overview of the game, but there's also a bunch of mini games that you could play to unlock in-game currency. There's a couple different wacky gameplay modes for when you want to change things up. One example is playing with multiple balls, which as you can expect, definitely makes things a lot more hectic. Now I'll just leave you with a little bit extra gameplay so you can see all of this in action, but before we jump into that, let me know down in the comments what you're thinking about this game. The developers are going to be watching this, so it's your opportunity to give any feedback, or let them know what cool features they should add.
That's a bippity boppity downtown delivery. Nailed it. That's a whole. Smell that? Inches away. Hurrah. Good one. Ba-blam. Circle. Wasabi. As the gravity curtain falls.
And that was today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on next time.